All right, that's quite enough of that. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? How is everyone today? I hope that I find you all well, and I hope that you are ready for another full, fun week of gameplay streaming. We got a lot of stuff here coming up that's going to be pretty exciting. I hope that you guys are pumped for a very fun weekend coming up. Good stuff, new releases. Continuing on with the popular games you guys want to see the most. And gearing up for fun stuff over the horizon, as they say. So, ladies and gentlemen, today is... Hold on a second. Today is July 15th, 2021. It is Tuesday? Thursday, excuse me. Like I should know what day it is, probably. And I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. For the fun streams that are coming up today. I'm coming back from break. Yesterday was my day off. Holy crap, I'm not kidding you guys. It was the busiest day off that I had probably all year. My wife and I left the house around 10 in the morning, to go grocery shopping, came home to unpack everything, chop the veggies, prepare everything, and then we went out again, and we didn't get back home till about between 9 and 10 p.m. It was a crazy long day out. Really, really busy. We had a ton of stuff to do. And we got our hair cut, which is great. I got a nice, short, spiffy new haircut, which I'm feeling really good about because, man, my hair was starting to get long and annoying. And it was a good time. We did a lot of stuff. We actually ended up driving to a new area we haven't really been to ever here before in Washington State. And long story short, our hairdresser, who we've seen for years and years and years, left her job and decided to start up her own deal, a kind of, working for herself, starting up her own small-scale hair studio. And we said, hey, you cut our hair so well for so many years, we absolutely would like to join you on this endeavor and see how it goes. So we ended up driving it wasn't insanely far or anything like that, but it definitely was out of our way. Like I said, it's an area we've never been to before here in Washington State, and the good news is it actually worked out really well because this area has actually a lot of stuff in that area that we would be interested in doing. Like there's a grocery store right near there that's different from our local grocery store, so they probably have different things. A few other stores around there that likely, like a pet store and stuff. So what we're thinking is, in the future, when we're going to go get our haircut, we'll make the appointment and we'll just drive out there and we'll spend the day there. Like do everything we would normally do during our normal day. Go to this store, go to the pet store, go to here, go to here. Do it all there instead of in our local area. And then just go get our haircut and then get dinner because there's a lot of good restaurants in that area too. In fact, last night we had some pizza, which we haven't not had pizza out. Oh my God. The last time that we got pizza on our day off, probably 2 years ago. Yeah, it was definitely before COVID. So the first time we've had any kind of pizza out, and it was good, and we were, it was a good day out, okay? In general, it was a really good day out, and it was a very long day, but it was very fun as well. And we came home, and Jasper was so excited to see us returning home and everything. It was a good time. It really was a good time. So that was my day off yesterday, but now today I come back, like I said, for a full week of streaming. Now, FYI, we're actually not sure if we're going to be coming back. I'm not sure if my day off this week is going to be Tuesday or Wednesday. It's either going to be Tuesday or Wednesday. So that means I'm either streaming 5 straight days or 6 straight days. I'm not sure yet. I have to confirm that with my wife because I think my wife actually has a string of days off this week, so we have the ability to choose which day to have off. And honestly, there's no new releases next week. Doesn't really matter if I take Tuesday or Wednesday off. It wouldn't really even affect the schedule of streaming or anything. So it's more just our personal preference. We'll have to figure it out over the course of the next couple of days. So that being said, my friends, I'm excited for this weekend. We're going to talk about this in a moment. A lot of stuff going on over this weekend. First of all, if you've been living under a rock, just in case if you'd like to be informed, a longtime viewer and fan of mine donated an Xbox Series X earlier this week. And, of course, it caused hoopla amongst everyone, amongst my supporters and viewers. They absolutely love the fact I have the console now, that I'm now able to cover things under Game Pass and run, for example, Fallout New Vegas, which I was running on my launch Xbox One. I'm now able to convert that playthrough over to the Xbox Series X for the remainder of it. And, you know, the other day we took an in-depth look at Game Pass during my very first ever Xbox Series X stream. It was a lot of fun to see what was available under Game Pass and to take a look at some of the games that I'd be interested in trying out when we get a chance. So that was a really fun session. If you missed any of this Xbox Series X coverage I did over the last couple of streams, you got to check it out right here on DSPGaming. I put it all in its own separate playlist. So it's very easy for you to just watch it and have no problems, you know, just giving it a look. So yeah, give it a look. Now, moving forward, I'll be using the Xbox Series X for the rest of the Fallout New Vegas playthrough, which is going to take a while because we all know how long this game is and how many DLCs and everything it has, right? But in addition to that, yes, I'll be using the Xbox Series X to do special stuff, check out Game Pass games and playthroughs, etc. However, just for clarification purposes, I just want to let you guys know we're not jumping the gun here. Because a lot of people are like, oh, just drop everything you're doing and just start playing Xbox Game Pass games. And we're not doing that. Okay, here's why. We're already in the midst of many different playthroughs. Mass Effect 3, we're technically heading into the final third of the game right now. Danganronpa V3, which is a game I've been playing now for like over 3 months, we're heading into the end game. We're about to finish the 5th class trial, and then it's the finale of the game after that. So I'd be pretty stupid to say, let's just put all that on hold and start playing new stuff when we're in the finale of 2 games, essentially. If I keep playing them, we should beat them within the next couple of weeks. Okay? Now, in addition to that, okay, in addition to that, of course, I want to play the new games that are coming out, and the biggest new game coming out right now is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. It comes out tomorrow. Okay? So I don't want to say, oh, because I got an Xbox Series X, that means that everything else that I was already planning on doing that's new is going on hold either. No, that's not going to happen either. Okay? But I'm excited because the future is bright because I have this console. Now, all these games under Game Pass, I'm going to be able to check out just next month. Okay? There's going to be like 4 games under Game Pass. In fact, in just a couple of weeks. Right? We got Microsoft Flight Simulator that I'll be looking at. That's really the first major Game Pass game that I'll be giving a look at because it'll be on Series X. So, yeah, this is going to be really cool. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay? I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because then we'll never finish the things that we've been working on for a while. Let's finish those up, and then we can jump into Game Pass stuff. Okay? Now, the other thing, I'm just going to say this again. Final time I'm really going to mention it. All right? It was absolutely a longtime fan who donated this to me out of the blue. They contacted me about a week to week and a half ago and said, you know, I'd like to donate this to you. And I thought it could be a troll. I had already had like 3 other people previously who had done the same exact thing, made these claims, led me along, and ended up being a troll, you know, insulting me and making stupid jokes. So I had no real idea this was going to be real, which is why I really didn't mention it until it showed up. That day, I mentioned it because I was like, damn, it actually is showing up. It surprised me as much as it surprised you. I did not buy this thing. I don't have money for it. All my funds right now are going towards bills. In fact, as I'm about to mention in a few minutes, this next week is the final week. I really need your support with tips to pay these remaining bills. I have 2 utility bills and a back taxes bill. If those are paid, I am in the clear because I'm going to get paid by YouTube next week. Okay? So, yeah, like I would be in the clear for next week. So, actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, there's no way I can have my day off on Tuesday. I don't have money. I won't have money till Wednesday when YouTube pays me. Holy crap, so there's your answer. Yeah, next week, it has to be, my day off has to be Wednesday, see? I was going to say, oh, Tuesday would be good because it would break up the days for my wife, but I can't. I have no money. I will not have any money until YouTube pays me on Wednesday. All money that I raise this week has to go towards bills, or I can't pay them, yeah. So there you go. On the fly, in my head, I'm figuring out, why was it that I thought that I couldn't have Tuesday off? That's why I have no money. That answers the question. That's right. So anyway, guys, yeah. No, I didn't buy this thing. I wish I could have, because, listen, if I had the money to buy this thing, I would have bought it months and months ago. You know? I wouldn't have waited this long. Why would I have waited this long when I could have been already playing the medium, when I could have been playing Game Pass games all along, you know? But people are idiots. You know, the truth is there's so many stupid conspiracy theories out there. People send them to me on Twitter to try to troll me, and I read it, and I have a hilarious laugh at it, and I block that idiot, and I say, I'm not listening to that stupid shit. People are out of their fucking minds. They're tinfoil hats and shit constantly. Like, they're just out of their gourds. They sit there spinning wild conspiracy theories because they're nut jobs. So, no. Thank you very, very much to the fan who donated the Xbox Series X. Now, I'm actually going to say something else that you guys are not aware of yet, because I have not made you aware of it yet. All right? So listen up, because this is going to be interesting. All right? When the Xbox Series X was donated to me earlier this week, there was a longtime fan of mine who had already been trying to get me an Xbox Series X and was not able to because of the scarcity of these things online. They'd always been trying to get into, say, oh, the drop on Walmart, the drop on Target. They couldn't get it. So once they found out, oh, Phil got the Xbox Series X, they wrote to me behind the scenes and said, I want to help you out in another way then, because I was already going to get you this and now I can't, you already have it. So it looks like there'll be another surprise coming up in the next week. However, just to forewarn all of you, this surprise coming up, all right, is not going to be anywhere near as amazingly positive as the Xbox Series X. Okay, I'm just be honest with you. You know, it was crazy that I got the Xbox Series X. That's going to directly help my content on a daily basis. You know, I'm going to be putting out games on Game Pass and everything. You know, this other thing is more of a thing that is definitely going to help. Absolutely, it's going to help with my content, but it's not going to directly affect the quality of you guys, what you're seeing on the streams or anything like that. It's more of a behind-the-scenes thing, okay? But anyway, I figure I should throw that out there. Why? I'll tell you why, because these idiots always make shit up. So they'll say, oh, well, Phil bought the Xbox Series X, and now he bought this next thing. It's like, no, I don't have any money for anything. I am literally living tip to tip, paying each bill as the tips come in. And I really have to have a good week coming up, a good streaming week, in order to pay the rest of these bills, these 3 bills that are remaining. And then I'm in the clear. But I have to get there. I'm not buying anything. But that's what I mean. Like, these people are so crazy. They just, again, I'm sure, now that I'm announcing this, they will make some crazy thing up about how somehow I was magically able to afford it. They're out of their minds. Okay? They're completely out of their fucking minds. And I don't listen to their bullshit. So I just want you guys to understand that. I don't listen to the bullshit. The only reason I'm ever even aware of it is because some idiot will like tweet me about it. I laugh about it and I block them. I'm not paying any attention. I'm not going to address these things. They're out of their fucking minds. Okay? They really are. They're just nuts. Okay? So, please stop with the nonsense. Don't buy into it. Alright? Just don't. And I will let you know, what's actually going on when I have details. Because I don't have details of anything. But when I do, I'll let you know what's going on. And we'll go from there. But please, enough with the bullshit. Enough with the nonsense. It's just... I can't imagine how these people could be in their right minds and say and do the things that they do. And that's why I don't want to go down their fucking rabbit hole of crazy. Okay? Okay, guys. So that's the deal. Alright, now, let us talk, first of all, about the schedule for this upcoming week. Let's talk about some really cool things that have happened recently on the streams. And then we're going to talk about gaming news. We got a lot of gaming news to talk about today. I swear, sometimes when I take my day off, it seems like everything happens at once. It really does. So, the schedule for this week is as follows. Today, it is Fallout New Vegas on the Xbox Series X for the very first time. Do I really think there's going to be much of a difference? No. I think it's going to be surround sound. But outside of that, there's no other difference. It's going to end up being pretty much graphically exactly the same as it was on the Xbox One. But it should still be fun. We're in the midst of the Brotherhood plotline, which takes a while because you got to go out and search for some missing Brotherhood agents. And one of them, I believe, is in the Boomers area, which means I would actually have to go to the Boomers area and start that plotline to finish the Brotherhood plotline. So, what's interesting is we have intersecting plot lines that I have to do in order to advance in the game. That's probably what we're going to do. I'm thinking we'll look for the Brotherhood, we'll find them, we'll go to the Boomers, we'll do the Boomers, go back to the Brotherhood, finish the Brotherhood, and then maybe once that plot line is done, maybe we'll do another DLC. Because at this point now I've been, 10, 15 hours in the main game without doing a DLC. Maybe we'll jump into one of the second DLCs here. I don't know which one it'll be. Maybe either Dead Money or Honest Hearts or whatever one, but we'll do one, I think. So that's kind of the agenda for the game I'm feeling right now, because I know the boomers are going to take a while, and then also got to go back to the Brotherhood and finish them. Okay. So good stuff there. Then tonight, the late stream, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. My weekly Call of Duty stream. I've been having a lot of fun with this game recently. Looking forward to more FPS action later tonight at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time. Tomorrow is the big premiere. The Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword HD, the new version of the game on Switch with no motion controls and many quality of life improvements. The reviews are essentially saying the game is much better than the original because it doesn't feel outdated anymore. It feels like they tried to modernize it so that people would not be annoyed by the insane amount of backtracking and problems that the original Zelda games really had. That's a good thing in my opinion. Make it a more streamlined playthrough. Make it a more streamlined game. The thing is, that's exactly what they did with Breath of the Wild. So if they didn't follow through with that, it would kind of feel like a step back. So I'm actually happy to hear that they've done improvements. I'm curious to see what the improvements are when we start this up tomorrow. Okay? And no motion controls. Just that alone is going to dramatically improve the experience. Tomorrow night is Friday night as usual. My throwback Street Fighter session for the week. That should be fun. Saturday, more Zelda. I said, why not do 2 days of Zelda back-to-back since it is a new release? Get as far as I can in 2 sessions. And then Saturday night will be Mass Effect 3. That is correct. Mass Effect 3, for this week at least, is going to be a nighttime stream. Makes sense to do so because I'm focusing in on a new release in Zelda and, of course, the game you guys most want to see, Fallout. So I said Mass Effect 3 will graduate it to like a late-night chill stream for now. Okay? Then on Sunday, we will go back to Fallout New Vegas. And Sunday night will be Danganronpa V3 and the conclusion of the 5th class trial. Meaning once that's done, we will head into the end game of the game and finally the home stretch to finish it. On Monday, we'll do more Zelda. And we'll pair that with more Mass Effect. And then on Tuesday, it'll be more Fallout, again, paired with Danganronpa. And that's the streaming week, okay? Yeah, I completely forgotten that I'm not getting paid by YouTube till Wednesday. There's no way I could have a day off till Wednesday. I have no money. So, okay. Very nice. Very good stuff. And I certainly hope that you guys will join me for the fun over this week. Now, next week, there's no new releases. But next week, if we can focus in on possibly finishing up Danganronpa and getting, as far as we can in Zelda, okay? There's a possibility we could finish up one or more of these games, and then, yes, we could go back to Game Pass on the Xbox Series X and try out some of the stuff on there. Like, for example, I'm interested in trying out more Grounded. I've actually played a little bit of that game and I actually liked it a lot. I want to see how Halo, the Master Chief Collection, looks on Xbox Series X, because apparently it works. Remember when it launched on Xbox One many years ago and it didn't work at all, and everyone complained it was a ripoff? I want to try PUBG. I want to see how PUBG runs. And that's just a few of the things I'm interested in. Obviously, one of the things I want to do a full playthrough of is the Medium that I missed out on back in January. Okay? But we have to get to that. We have to finish up the stuff I'm doing to jump into other new stuff. Okay? So let's focus on the stuff I'm doing, finish up Mass Effect and Danganronpa first. Fair enough? Now, you may notice if you take a look at the top of your screens, we did hit the 200 members goal for the month of July. And I'm very happy about that. Thank you guys so much who rallied with support this last week and became members to the channel. I really appreciate that. Hope you enjoy all of your benefits. The thing is, every 25 members we earn, we unlock a new emote. So at 200, we did unlock a new emote, and now when we hit 225, there'll be another one, okay? So, that guarantees that we'll be doing a fun gaming marathon either in late July or early August, likely more early August, and there will be a new episode of Feasting with the King coming up. We will talk about the details of that shortly, but I don't think we need to really do it yet. We still got the second half of the month to get through and all the stuff that I'm working on, so I don't want to go crazy, but we could start this, early discussion. I think a lot of people are leaning towards an Indies marathon because I have not played an Indies marathon in a very long time, or a Game Pass marathon, where you guys pick and choose the games on Microsoft Game Pass, now that I have an Xbox Series X, and say, oh, these are the ones we're interested in seeing you play more of, and I play them in a marathon setting. So those are kind of the two ideas people seem to be leaning towards, and I'll admit those sound pretty good to me. So I guess we'll see. Okay. Oh, really? Henry Jones says that 25 members is only till 250, then it will dramatically increase. Oh, really? So what you're saying is when we hit 250, then it makes it more, you need more members to get a new emo? See, I don't know anything about this because newcomer to YouTube, and obviously I haven't had that many members before, so there's no way to tell till I get there, I guess. Well, that kind of sucks. Maybe, hopefully it's only like 50 then and not like 100 each. That'd be crazy if it's like 100 each for an emo. Hopefully not. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, that's great that we hit the members goal and we got this marathon coming up and we will talk about it today for sure. However, we have a second tier 2 goal, 250 members. What happens if we do that? I don't know yet. I'm curious to hear what you guys want. I'm kind of open to whatever you guys want. Maybe you would want it to be like, oh, once a week Phil does a Game Pass event if we hit 250 members or something like that, right? That would be cool. We'll do a late night stream of Game Pass stuff or something, play 2-3 games. I'd be open to that. But we could talk about that and try to figure it out for ourselves, what you guys want. Sound good? I hope so. I hope that sounds good to you. And, yeah. So please, by all means, if you want to become a channel member, please do. Many benefits of becoming a channel member here, including the following. A highlighted name in the stream chat. A cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter. In fact, some people are about to hit their 3-month renewal, in which case they're going to get golden crowns, which is pretty cool. You don't have to abide by the slow mode rules of the chat, which is every 10 seconds you have to wait to type a message. You don't have to do that. And then in addition to that, also, I don't know what just happened. It tells me the dump truck is having an issue outside. Hold on a second here. Why are they making all this fucking noise? Oh, okay. Has nothing to do with me. Good. Yeah, today's our trash day, and I'm hearing the dump truck making all this noise outside. I'm like, what the hell? But it's not. They were driving away, so I guess it's fine. I was like, oh, God, don't tell me the dump truck broke down in front of my fucking house or something. That would not be good considering my wife has to go to work in a little bit and needs to be able to drive out of the driveway. Anyway, the last option, or the last benefit you get is you get access to all of the emotes here on the channel if you become a channel member, and we currently have 18 and growing. So again, many benefits, helps the channel out, helps me out. Please consider becoming a member if you have not. Lots of exciting stuff coming up soon that being a member will benefit you, okay? Very nice. Oh, that's right. Battle Duck says it's your third private jet has finally touched down outside. Oh, that's right. And, you know, pretty soon my hovercraft is going to arrive. We're going to hover all the way to the top of Mount Rainier. Take some selfies. There you go. Sounds great. Okay. So apparently, when you hit 250 members, it takes 50 to unlock a new emote. When you hit 500 members, it takes 100. Damn. I feel like if that's the case, then we're probably not going to get back all the emotes from Twitch. At the same time, we're slowly getting back all the ones that were most frequently used anyway. Quite frankly, there were a lot of ones on Twitch that were a little excessive that we barely ever used, which is okay. It's a slow build, but we'll get there. Maybe one day we'll have about 5,000 members, and then we'll get all the emotes back, right? Okay. So, let's see. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to cover before we get to gaming news. The one thing I will say is this, folks. Very matter-of-factly and very simply. I appreciate all types of support, whether you become a channel member, super chats, super stickers, or tips. But this is the last week. I really need help with tips, which is why the tips goals are still what they are. I need that level of support in order to pay my bills. I have 3 major bills coming up in the next week. I have 2 utilities, and I have a back taxes payment. All right? They're all pretty important things. I can't not pay any of those. I'll be in trouble. All right? So, your tips, no exaggeration, are directly funding those bills and directly funding my purchase of Zelda Skyward Sword HD overnight. That's where all of your tips are going this week. So, if you like my streams, the best way to support me right now is by tipping me. I appreciate every tip that comes in. I shout them all out because I really need the help. Thank you in advance. So, how do you tip me? If you look at the description of the stream, there's a tips link. Okay? Or you can type !tip into the stream chat. You'll get a pop-up on screen to say thanks if you get a tip, and I'll give you a verbal shout-out, as long as you're not being insulting or anything negative or derailing in your message, which most people get that. We have tips rewards. At $50, I put on the Gunner glasses. At $100, I'll put on a vest of your choice. Today, I consider we should just kind of reset the vest. So I would say beige, red, platinum, and probably denim or camo will be the 4 vests. You know what? Let's exclude camo because tonight is Call of Duty. People might want to see the camo vest on Call of Duty. So let's do beige, red, platinum, and denim for today. Those will be the 4 vests that are eligible for today's stream. Fair enough? Okay. And at $150, I put on my cowboy hat. So I'll probably start today wearing the headphones just to try to experience the surround sound and Fallout, which I've not had the entire playthrough so far. But then, you know, if we earn the cowboy hat, then I'll probably just put the headphones down and ride 'em cowboy for the rest of the stream. Wow! Whatever the fuck that means. Okay. Battleduck says, but what if people want to see Kami Red during the Call of Duty stream? I guess it's allowed. It's allowed. Yes, they can see that. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have many news stories to talk about today. All right, let's get right into them because I have so many. First of all, it was announced yesterday on my day off. Netflix, that company that does on-demand video. You know, things like Stranger Things or The Haunting of blah, 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 whatever those series. There's been 2 of them now. And a million other movies and series and all of that stuff. The Witcher and all of that shit, right? They announced they're going to get into gaming development. And they actually hired a guy who I guess at one point was like a head of EA game development. And they got him working on developing games exclusively for Netflix. And they also said this would not be any kind of an increase in price for Netflix subscriptions for now. So essentially, if you become a Netflix subscriber, you may be able to play games that they make or something. It's not clear yet because it was just announced. Okay? Now, some people are absolutely reporting this as like it's some ginormously huge news story. It's such an important, giant news story. Netflix is getting into gaming and herpaderpader. Okay? But I don't forget. I remember several years ago, there was a giant news story. Amazon has getting into game development. Amazon has hired people from previous game studios to make games for them. And Amazon is doing this and this. And how many years ago was that? Right? And today's 2021, and exactly how many games has Amazon produced right now? All right? 0. The only game they're even still making is an MMO. The games that they were making essentially were all dumped and dropped, and people were laid off. It was big news earlier this year when the Amazon Game Studios laid everyone off and dropped the entire initiative. Okay? Just because a major company of some media type wants to throw money at gaming because, oh, gaming is the biggest, most profitable entertainment source in the world. Just because they're trying to jump on that bandwagon doesn't mean they're going to be successful, nor does it mean they have any expertise in it and that they're going to succeed. Amazon failed miserably at it. Like I said, they're only continuing to make one game, and no one has any idea if it's going to be any good at all. Outside of that, they shut down everything else and laid everyone off. And this is Amazon, who has seemingly endless money. It's one of the most profitable companies on the planet. And they couldn't do it. Okay? So, if that's the case, why should we get hype about Netflix? We shouldn't. You know what it is? It's called a slow news day. It's called games journalists want to hype shit up that doesn't deserve hype. Just because some major media company decides we want to make games, that's not news. You want to know what news is? Oh, they made a game and they're putting it out and it's good. That's news. Not, oh, they're just starting the whole initiative. It's a complete waste of time. And you might as well say, you know, fucking Popeye's Chicken has decided they're going to start making video games. Wow! Amazing! What an initiative! Doesn't mean anything's going to come out of it, you know? It's like, what are you talking about? Why are we getting hype about absolutely nothing? We have a track record of a company that's bigger than Netflix trying to do this and failing. I'm not excited about this. Tell me 2-3 years down the line when Netflix has games ready to go, that they're good, and people are going to want to play them, and you can only play them if you have a subscription to Netflix, then I'll be excited. Not now. This is way too early for me to give 2 shits. But again, this is what they do. They hype shit up because they pretend like it's news so that you get clickbait bullshit on their fucking articles that suck ass. So, I don't play that game. Non-news to me. Okay? Alright. The next story. Resident Evil Reverse has been delayed until 2022. Now, before I even get into the actual news, you might say, what the hell is Resident Evil Reverse? And if you're asking that question, it's a perfectly valid question, because most people don't even know. If you weren't aware, a few months ago, there was a game that came out called Resident Evil 8 Village, okay? And if you weren't aware, when you bought Resident Evil 8 Village, included with that came a game called Resident Evil Reverse. But the game was non-playable. You would get it, you would get the license to it and everything when you downloaded Resident Evil 8, but you would not be able to play it. So, what this was, which most people don't even know, is a multiplayer standalone game separate from Resident Evil Village that for some odd reason was being developed. I don't know why. I'm not exactly sure anyone was clamoring and saying, what happened to Resident Evil multiplayer? Now listen, I liked Resident Evil Mercenaries. Remember, Mercenaries was always the multiplayer mode that came out with every single Resident Evil game, right? And it was good. It's been a long time since we've had a Mercenaries game, but quite a long time. And I haven't heard monstrous demand for another one. So, this Reverse, or whatever it's supposed to be, was it going to be good or not? I mean, maybe. But it was so weird to me. Because they sold it as a package with Resident Evil 8 Village, as if that was going to be some kind of, like, a selling point. I mean, no one bought Resident Evil 8 Village because it had Reverse. Exactly 0 people bought that game because it had Reverse. It was more like, wow, I really want to play Resident Evil 8, and hey, if I get a little added extra later, that's cool or whatever. Alright? But one thing I definitely got to ask about this is, why in the holy hell did they sell this as a package deal with Resident Evil 8 if it was this far out from being ready to be released? Because originally it was supposed to actually come out with the launch of Resident Evil 8. Then it got delayed till July 2021. Now it's been delayed till 2022. It's pretty obvious this game was not ready to be released at all. It likely was in its earliest stages with just an idea of what it was going to be. Probably just starting to develop assets and gameplay. They weren't ready. And Capcom knew this and willingly sold it as a part of a package deal with Resident Evil 8. I can't think of a justifiable reason. If you're that far off from a finished product, how the hell are you going to sell it? Right? At the very least, thank God they didn't sell it as a standalone. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if they tried to sell this when it wasn't ready? I mean, and the thing is, this game has nothing to do with Resident Evil 8. If you're not aware, there's no tie-ins. It doesn't even use the same, like, engine. It's supposed to be completely different. So why was it even included with Resident Evil 8? It's just blindly stupid. It's blindly confusing and stupid. And I just don't get that at all. But here's the thing. Am I excited for Resident Evil Reverse? Well, sure, when it comes out, whenever it's ready, it's going to be free. I already bought Resident Evil 8, so it's already included. Of course, I'd like to at least give it a shot. Kind of like when Resident Evil 3 Remake came out last year, and it had that really weird survival multiplayer mode that sucked shit. But at least I was like, I'll give it a shot. It's free. Why not try it, right? But why? Like, how did they... What management sat down and said, okay, we're going to create a multiplayer game of Resident Evil because there hasn't been one since Mercenaries many years ago. But it's not even ready to be sold because it's not even close to being done. But we're going to sell it anyway as a package deal. And then we're just going to keep delaying it. Like, what? What? It's not... There's no logic to that. There's really no logic to that. It's stupidity. Actual lack of management. Lack of leadership. Because this project is now aloof. Oh, it comes out in 2021. Great. Any details about it? No. No. It's supposed to be out in April. And you can't even tell us about it? No. Alright. Sounds great. Sounds like you guys really have the reins of this project, right? Okay then. But anyway, that was news from this morning. I was like, great. Well, again, the good news here is it's not all negative because when it comes out, just try it whenever it's out because there's no skin off anyone's back. We all played Resident Evil 8 and loved it anyway. So why the hell would we give a shit about this anyway? But it's just kind of stupid that it was all done this way. You know, like, where was the guidance of leadership? There's 0 leadership on this, apparently. Okay, the third news story for today. All right? Now that we all know about this new model of the Switch, the Nintendo OLED, of course, everyone in the industry has been doing research on it. And by the way, the pre-orders are supposed to go up, I think, today or tomorrow. I think today, but maybe tomorrow. The pre-orders for the Nintendo OLED. Yes, this is the new Switch model that costs $350. Yes, that's $50 more than the old model. It has a slightly better screen, but it's pretty much identical in size, just looks a little better. Built-in Ethernet port on the dock. Better speakers. Very, very, very minor quality of life improvements that really don't add anything to the console and essentially should have been with the console at launch. The funny thing about it is the things people really want improvements on, like, hey, did you fix that joystick drift issue that happens with all Joy-Cons because they're pieces of shit? No, they didn't fix that. Oh, did you maybe add more processing power or more memory or more, no, we didn't do that. So what did you do? Nothing really. We're just reselling the same console essentially for more money. And of course, there's been differing opinions on this on the internet. Some people are like, it is a complete ripoff, don't get it. Others are like, well, if you don't own a Switch, it's a no-brainer. Buy it now, it's the better model. Makes sense. And others are just like rabid fanboys. Oh, you must get everything Nintendo buys. Consume. Spend money on Nintendo. I need it. Oh, yeah. It's like, what the fuck, man? Well, finally a news story came out today, because research has finally been done on this thing now that we know all the hardware and everything. It's come out that the Nintendo OLED model, all right, will cost $350, but will only cost Nintendo $10 more to manufacture than the actual Switch they've been making for years. So they're blatantly going to make $40 of additional profit on top of whatever profit they were already making on the sale of every Switch. They're going to make $40 extra of additional profit on the sale of every Switch OLED because it only cost them $10 more to add the Ethernet port and the better screen and the better speakers. It's such a minimal upgrade, a $10 bill can do it. Okay? So just think about that. Now, with this now public knowledge, you would think that would stop. No, we must consume everything Nintendo puts out. If Nintendo, right now, if Mr. Miyamoto took a big steaming shit and coated it in gold plating, there would be people bidding on this golden turd, millions of dollars. These people are not right in the head, man. Seriously, like, why are you going nuts over non-upgrades, non-announcement? This company regularly ignores you. Regularly just completely writes off your feedback. People for years have been saying we want a more powerful Switch, we want the Joy-Con drift fixed. Nintendo says, fuck all that shit. Here's a $10 bill. Give us $40 plus more extra. Like, literally, Nintendo says, if we hand you this $10 bill, you feel it's worth $40. That's what they're saying here. And people are still going to buy it. They are. Seriously. They're still going to buy it. They're so brainwashed, or whatever you want to say it is, but Nintendo has 100% mind adjusted their hardcore fans to say, you will pay us for whatever we put out, regardless of actual value, because we're putting it out. You are no longer buying a product for consumption. Essentially, it's like we're celebrities, and you're throwing money for an interaction with the celebrity. I hate to say that, it's true. It seems to me like people are buying Nintendo shit for the sake that it's Nintendo shit, rather than there's a value behind it. Because if you already have a Switch, and the Switch is fine, it's not destroyed or whatever, right? I'm getting it because my Joy-Cons drift. The Joy-Cons will still drift. They didn't improve them, right? There's like one incredibly small group of people who will benefit from the Switch OLED. Those people who always use their Switch undocked, okay? They're always using it as a handheld, and its thing's worn out. My Switch is worn out because I use the goddamn thing so much. Okay, then, here's a slightly better screen. Here's a little bit better speakers. Here's a few benefits. Maybe you should get the new Switch. What is that? 1% of the customer base, if that? Right? It's just, who are they designing this thing for? It's just so weird to me. And the other thing that's really weird to me, the Wii U, everyone knows the Wii U was a failure. The Wii U had the hardcore fanboys buy the shit out of it at launch, and after that, Nintendo did not successfully sway the masses to buy the console. So what did Nintendo do? They sold little collectible figures to make up for it. And the fucking fanboys saved the company by buying figures instead of, actually being able to sell the Wii U. They literally kept the company afloat with this monstrous profit margin by fucking buying little figurines. And if that doesn't prove to you this company doesn't give a fuck about what they put out, like, seriously, how do you not know that that's, you know what I mean? If the Switch failed, they would put out something else stupid and they would still buy it. Like, how does it? And again, the reason that I have issue with this is not that I'm a Nintendo hater. I'm not. I'm playing Skyward Sword tomorrow. I can't wait. I love that game, and I really want to play it without the shitty motion controls. I'm excited to be playing a Nintendo game tomorrow. It's been too long, in my opinion. But approaching things with a rational mindset, okay? Approaching things from a consumer's perspective, value, business sales perspective and value, and just the fact that I see these trends over time. Do these people who are the hardcore fanboys of Nintendo, okay, do they not realize something? If you keep supporting Nintendo, Nintendo directly ignores you, directly does things you don't want them to do on a regular basis, okay? If you keep supporting that behavior, you are reinforcing it. How do they not understand this? How do you not understand that when a company is doing you wrong, that if you support them, they can continue to do you wrong, right? The best way to show Nintendo that we want change would be to not buy the Switch OLED. Make the Switch OLED a failure for them. Make it be a money loser. And then they'll be like, oh shit, maybe the next time we're going to do a console mid-life launch, we should actually put real improvements into it that would actually be attractive to the common gamer so that it's worth their money. Instead of literally paying Nintendo the profit of a Switch sale plus an additional $40 for $10 of improvements. Right? But you have to actually be smart to do that. And let's be honest here, people who are rabid fanboys and endless, ceaseless, critiqueless followers of anything are not very smart. Okay? They're just not. Over the years, I was a huge fan of Microsoft in the Xbox 360 days. I felt Microsoft could do no wrong back then. But as soon as the Xbox One launched and I saw all the problems with that launch, I completely called them out for it. Because I have an analytical mind and I can switch and say, okay, this is right now, but it's not right forever. The world's not black and white. Yes, Nintendo has done many great things for gaming over the years. Absolutely. That doesn't mean they're infallible, and that doesn't mean they're always right. You have to look at these things from an intelligent, analytical perspective, a logical perspective for value for the customer. Not, oh, I just buy everything because I'm a mouth-drooling fanboy and I salivate over everything that Nintendo does. Like, how will that make them better as a company exactly? It won't. It won't. It really is right. It's like they're hypnotized. It's like they have been mind conditioned to think that everything Nintendo does is good. And they will just throw their money at it consistently without fail. Anything that's a Switch exclusive, they must buy. Anything that's accessory for Switch, they must buy. If there's a new Switch, they must buy. Like, oh my god, man. Oh, a new Amiibo? Must buy. Must buy. They probably have a stockpile of Nintendo Labo somewhere. They probably do. Someone bought the Labo. Can't imagine who or why, but someone bought it. Right? Anyway. So that's that news story. Again, my perspective is very simple. Don't buy the Switch LED unless you absolutely need a new Switch or don't have one. If you line the pockets of Nintendo for this kind of behavior, they will never change. They will never actually improve their hardware mid-life cycle. They'll never listen to the feedback. They'll just say, well, they're just going to pay us for whatever, so fuck them. Here's $10, give us $40. And people will do it, Okay. The last news story for the day is actually quite an interesting one, both for me and I'm sure for you guys for PC gamers. It was just literally announced moments before I was going to go live on my stream today. Valve has announced a new portable console called the Stream Deck that will release in December of 2021. this portable console is basically their version of the Nintendo Switch, okay? And this version, or excuse me, this console, reportedly from what they're saying, should be able to play most high-end PC games at least a decent frame rate and performance-wise. It will have a dock that will, similar to the Switch, be able to plug into your TV, so it's a dockable thing. You can play PC games not only on the handheld device, but also on your TV. All right? And it's $399 base unit. Now, from what I'm to understand, there's going to be 2 other models up. One of them is like $529, and another one is like way more, like $700 or something dollars. Crazy amount. And I guess that's supposed to be if you want like insane top-of-the-line performance or something. I don't really understand the differences between them. Now, here's the thing. You guys know I'm not a PC guy. I don't know the ins and outs of what's required to run modern PC games anymore. I'm completely out of the loop. But for me, looking at this, what I'm seeing is basically what they're realizing is that PC gaming's one major setback is that you're tied to your PC when you do it. Right? When you're playing PC gaming, most people have to sit down in front of their computer setup, their monitors or whatever to play PC games, and there never has really been a viable option to do otherwise besides, okay, maybe you set up your PC at your entertainment center to get it to play on your big TV or whatever. There's been zero real options to do portability of PC gaming up to this point. There's been attempts at it, but none of them have really been successful. Of course, some people would argue we'll get a laptop, but now you're talking about getting a gaming laptop, which is going to run you a lot of money, right? PC gaming essentially has been quite expensive up until this point. Just generalization there, but in general, you're going to spend more to be a PC gamer than you are to be a console gamer, and you're going to end up having to be tied essentially to your PC setup to play it. So what this Stream Deck is basically saying is, we're now going to get rid of those confinements. All right? We're going to make it so that you can now play your PC games on a portable device. You could dock this thing to your TV and play your PC games on your TV easily. If you want to play your games on PC, go ahead. If you have a gaming PC, but essentially what Steam is trying to do here is appeal to a different audience. You don't need a high-end gaming PC anymore to play PC games. You could just buy the Stream Deck. Okay? Now, excuse me, that was disgusting. I personally cannot give you an educated perspective on this because I don't know if the specs that are inside of the Stream Deck are going to be good enough to run mid to high-end PC games. I'm not educated enough to know that. I'm sure you guys would know way better than I would. Okay? But I actually asked my audience. I actually went to Twitter today and I asked my audience directly. I said, hey guys, what do you guys think about the Stream Deck announcement this morning? Because you know better than me. And here's a few of the responses that I got. Well, I actually think this will be great for emulation. I think it's a good move by Valve to enter the handheld market. Nintendo really needs competition so they don't stay lazy. Wasn't I just talking about that? Even if this cannot run full AAA titles at solid frame rates, the fact that I can access Game Pass on PC with this and throw emulators on it is absolutely a win for me. Now, this is interesting to me because this person is saying they can access Game Pass on this. Now, are we saying that this is essentially a portable PC for $400? Because I was under the impression that it was basically a Steam device and it would just run things off of Steam. But people seem to be under the impression that this is going to be like a moddable device where you can actually do many other things with it. And again, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's kind of interesting. I'm definitely interested in it. I'm curious, though, about the performance and if the operating system has presets for each game with the ability to tweak if you want to. Only time will tell, but as a PC gamer, I'm interested in it, and it could be great for emulation, too. Okay. How about this one? Listen to this. Compare this with the Nintendo Switch at $300 or the new OLED edition at $350. It's running a custom AMD SoC with RDNA 2, which is the same architecture as the Series X and PlayStation 5 consoles. Probably shouldn't expect the same performance and wait for the benchmarks, but that's pretty impressive. 2020 RDNA 2 is much more powerful than the Switch's aging Tegra X1 hardware from 2015. It should be able to handle most games just fine at its hardware resolution and and a frame rate, which is 1280 by 800, 60 by 9, 60 frames per second. So essentially, what this person is saying is it's got pretty powerful hardware in it, and the thing's targeted to only run around 720p, so it should absolutely be able to handle games at that resolution. I guess the ultimate question would be when you dock this thing to play on like a monitor, would it or on your TV? Because I was thinking to myself, how would I make use of the Stream Deck? Well, I don't need a handheld. I just don't play games portably like that. But imagine if I could get a Stream Deck for $400, I could dock it with my TV, and now you're telling me I could buy PC versions of games, and I could play them all on my television, like a console, without needing a gaming PC. Right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm like, wait a minute. This could be a way for me to get into PC gaming without having to drop an insane amount of money on a gaming PC. If it runs games well, which we don't know yet. You see? So that's kind of interesting. And it's not super expensive either. I don't know. Because here's another one. This is a PC you can install Windows and Linux on. You'll have access to all of your emulators. For $400 on paper, it looks very much worth the price. But on a side note, the button layout on the thing looks terrible. And I actually did take a picture, I didn't take a picture of it. I took a look at it. It seems like the thumbsticks and the buttons are way high up in the corners of the thing. And then it actually has 2 touch pads for your thumbs that are under there to kind of emulate like a mouse. So maybe some games they feel the touchpads would be better than thumbsticks, or I admit the design of the thing looks weird. Of course, if you're not looking to play the game handheld, then maybe it wouldn't affect it as much. I'm not sure. Here's another one. This sounds really good for people who can't afford a solid gaming rig. If it runs all or almost at least some AAA games under Steam with good performance, it's a win. Could be a great alternative for you until you can afford a high-end gaming rig. There you go. Steam Deck. Right? Interesting. Let me see if anyone else said anything. I think that might be the end of it. Nah, it doesn't look like it anymore. Okay, yeah. So that's essentially the feedback I got. Hold on. Here's someone else. Okay, here's someone else's take. I want to make sure this... Yes. This is the biggest problem I'm seeing. It's a 60 hertz screen. They should have included a model that could run 120 hertz. Imagine portable gaming at that frame rate consistently. I would have bought that. Here's the thing. I actually think that, quite frankly, even though people who are high-end PC enthusiasts care about 120 hertz, I don't think the common gamer does, and I don't think that this is what they're aiming for. Like, I don't think that Steam or Valve is trying to target people who already have a high-end gaming rig with the Steam Deck. You know who they're trying to target? Switch owners and me. Someone who owns a Switch and wants a portable device that could play insanely powerful high-end games, mainstream multi-platform games, running at a great performance. That's who they're targeting. Or me, someone who doesn't have a high-end gaming rig, honestly has no desire to buy a high-end gaming rig, but wants access to these PC games that everyone else gets to play. I think they're targeting me. You see? They're not, oh, you already have a high-end gaming PC. Oh, get this now. Why would you even want that? You already have everything you want besides maybe portability, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. To me, I'll be honest, I'm intrigued. I don't know how much... I don't know viability... No, that's the wrong word. I don't know utility-wise how much I could get out of this if I were to think about getting it. It comes out in December. Likely it's going to pre-order the fuck out of everything and just sell out right away. If I could get one, I could, essentially try to play PC games on my TV and see how they run. I don't know how they would. And, by the way, since it works like the Switch, I could capture right from it, just like I do for my current Switch. And, you know what I mean? But I don't know. It would really depend, like, what would be the difference between playing a high-end game on Xbox Series X or PS5 and this Stream Deck? Would the Stream Deck be better? And also, let's be honest, how many PC exclusive games are there that I cannot currently play on my consoles that I would benefit from having the Stream Deck, right? Now, some people made some emulation. Okay, emulation. But, how often am I going to emulate shit? Or do I even care about that? Probably not, right? So I'm not sure. I'm kind of like, I can definitely see the benefits of it. At the same time, I don't know if someone like me 100% would benefit from it. I'm thinking about it, obviously, right? That's true. Someone just said, what about Age of Empires? And also, isn't it Diablo? Isn't Diablo 2? Isn't that going to be PC exclusive, the remake or something? There's a few games I'm sure I would benefit from. Yeah. All right. Anyway, that's the news for today. Let's get to shout-outs. I don't know. I don't think we had any YouTube contributions. I'm just going to double check, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait, there's one. Alien Boy 13 did a $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Alien Boy 13, for the first super chat of the day. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Thank you, sir. $13. What the hell happened there? Alien Boy. There we go. I don't know what happened that first time. Thank you, Alien Boy. Okay. I hate Twitch and their streams. Tip me $1.30. So can you imagine Twitch streamers getting hit with copyright strikes while playing their Amazon-developed MMO game on Twitch? I mean, that would be pretty ironic. But who's to say that wouldn't happen with the way that Twitch works right now, right? It's pretty sad. Like, 9 times out of 10 here on YouTube, if you get hit with anything, it's a content ID match. So, yeah, you can't make money on it, but at least you don't get your shit taken down. Twitch is getting ridiculous with copyright and everything. So, Captain DCW tipped me $5, and that is the biggest tip so far of the day. Let's get that on the leaderboard. Thank you, Captain. I appreciate that. He didn't leave a message. He just left a tip, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you for the support. Drink like there's no tomorrow tipped me $5 and said, I'm enjoying the organic nature of your playthrough of New Vegas. Could I email you a list of side quests that you may have missed and their locations for future reference? Yes. Abso-freaking-lutely. I would love that. So that way, as we're going through the game organically and naturally, and I'm playing through all the content and I'm enjoying it, I'll be having fun, but maybe later on in the playthrough, maybe I'll get to a point where, okay, we're kind of nearing the end. I wonder if there's any important or interesting stuff I missed. I'd be able to use that as a frame of reference. Yes, that would be great. Thank you for the suggestion and the offer. An anonymous tipper tipped me $1.30 and says, Valve themselves has said the Stream Deck is basically going to be like a mid-range portable gaming PC. They're shooting for a smooth 60 frames at 720p on mid to high settings. You can use any peripherals. You can run any software. You can wipe the Steam OS and install Windows. Sounds like a modder's paradise, right? It does. It sounds like a modder's paradise. And it sounds like most people who buy this thing are going to end up modding the shit out of it, right? Interesting. BattleDuck 9000 tipped me $4.20. And please stop mispronouncing Steam Deck. Not Stream Deck. Am I saying Stream Deck? It's Steam Deck. It's supposed to be Steam Deck. It's a deck on which you play Steam. I don't mean to say Stream Deck. Stream Deck is completely different. It's that device that you push buttons on when you're streaming to play like video clips or audio or shortcuts. It's basically like a soundboard. And that's a physical device that you push the buttons on. While Steam Deck would be the portable gaming device. Yes. Okay. He says, people seem to be missing a very important note. Deck is going to be running a modified version of Steam OS, which is based on Debian Linux. It's great. I have no idea what Debian Linux is. But, okay. Interesting. Let's see. Ow. Identity theft star rune to the $1.30. Hilarious. People are still bringing up this guy's ridiculous foible earlier this week when he essentially doxed himself because he's a moron. Says, will I be streaming my Steam Deck setup? Well, if I got one, I probably would be. I don't know if I'm going to get one. Like I said, right now, it's an idea. It's like, oh, a way to play PC-exclusive games. Hook it up to my setup here and play it without a high-end PC. But I don't know how viable it would be. I don't know how powerful it would be. I don't know if it would be worth it for me. Would I get a lot out of it or not? I don't know. So, It's all good, Captain DCW. He actually just apologized. Says, sorry I haven't been around a lot recently. I've been working. It's cool, sir. I'm just happy to see you here. Thank you for swinging by and supporting. I hope you can hang out for today and enjoy the Fallout stream, right? Okay. All right, so guys, thank you so much for your support. We got through all the news. We got through all the shout-outs. Let's take a break. I'm going to use the restroom. I hope you guys will grab a drink, a snack, use the restroom yourselves, whatever you need to do. And when I come back, it is Fallout New Vegas. Continuing on from where we left off, as I said, we're in the middle of the Brotherhood quest line. We have 2 Brotherhood guys we have to go find out in the Mojave Wasteland. One of them I think we can just do right away. The other one is in the Boomer area, which means we have to actually initiate and start the Boomer quest line to do it. So that'll be interesting to see if we can get to the Boomers and not die. And do the Boomer quest line stuff. Find the Brotherhood guy. Go back to the Brotherhood, finish that. That would likely be the entirety of today's stream. And then I'm thinking the next thing we would do after we finish the Brotherhood questline is maybe start another DLC. So let's see how it goes today. It should be exciting. Okay. Fireball Axe, I tried to tip but the link ain't working. Fireball Axe, literally, 3 people just tipped. So, if it's not working, I don't know what's going on. It sounds like it's not working for you. But it's working for everybody else. And I don't remember banning you from tipping. It sounds like there may be something wrong with your end, right? But literally 3 other people just tipped, so I don't know what you mean. Battleduck 9000 says if it's running on Linux, it means you won't be able to just play any Windows games. Okay. Anyway, guys, let's take a break. Okay, I'll be back shortly, and then it's the first session ever of Fallout New Vegas on the Xbox Series X, all right? Thanks, guys. I'll see you in a few.